Welcome back, everyone, to Vale of the Pine, where we are continuing along our adventures here in Herne, where it looks like this man needs some help. Hello?
Well met.
I am exhausted, friend. I work for Maddock and Crossway House, and it is my job to carry crates and supplies into the tavern whenever they're delivered. But the wagon driver from Breland just departed, and he refused to leave the crates any nearer than the very outskirts of Herne. He said that there's a bad feeling about the town today, and he didn't want to stay here any longer than he strictly needed to. Well, considering some of the rumors I've been hearing around here, can I completely blame him? Well, he did the least amount of effort, but I do have already done more than I should. Do you think that you could bring the last two crates inside the Crossway house and set them down in the storage room within the fireplace? I would really appreciate resting my arms for a moment. Alright, fine. I guess I could do that. So I hope that there was more than two of those crates. Actually, let's turn on our warden speed and grab this crate number 1. Oh, it looks a lot smaller once I pick it up. I guess it only looks big from the anticipation. Well, into the Crossway house. Now, where does this thing go? He said the storage room, right? That is this place? Apparently so. One down, one to go. Alright, yeah, only one crate left. Pick it up. Distant crate. Ah, good thing that they feel smaller once I pick them up. Now let's finish the delivery. There we go. Now, let's get back to Ethan. He's this way, right? Yep, through the back door.
Welcome, friends.
Thank you so much for your help, friend. I don't have much to offer you, but I hope that this reward will be helpful. Okay, good. Now, anything else that we need? Let's see. Those two. Trying to think, do I want to bother with those two quests or not? Can I get up here? Yes, I can. I think I have another quest here that I could do. Hello?
Can you spare a moment?
My name is Alwena, and I run the Hall of Crafts here in Herne. However, of late there has been a decrease in custom, and I want to get to the bottom of it. And can you speak encouraging words to some of my neighbors, and tell them that even in days of darkness, working with your hands on crafts or in trade can make the day seem brighter? All right, I'll see what I can do. All right, let's see. Here we are. Hello? No, I simply could not. How about you? I'm afraid not. I would not feel safe. No, I won't feel safe. They said they won't feel safe.
Can you spare a moment?
The people feel frightened. I need them to feel safe when they come into the Hall of Craft, or my business will suffer. I need to hire a guard to stand within the halls of craft, and then they will feel more safe. Here, take this pouch of coins to Ethan, who works at the Crossway House. He's strong and strapping lad, and I have noticed his muscles on more than one occasion. Tell him that that these coins will ease any reluctance he may feel to stop working for Maddock at the tavern, and in the future he will be very well paid to work for me instead. Okay. Well, let's see what Ethan has to say. Well, I guess that depends on how many crates he thinks he'll have to be carrying, right? Hello there again.
Well met.
There are a lot of coins in here, but I don't think I can leave Maddox on his own like this. He's been good to me, and I don't know how Crossway House will manage to stay open without me doing the heavy lifting or finding a random river hobbit to help you. Tell Owena that I appreciate the offer, but I need to decline. I know that I complain about carrying so many boxes and crates all day, but I think standing in one place in the Hall of Crafts would wear me out even faster with boredom. All right, he wants something to at least keep him exercised, just not too much exercised. He says he's sorry, but he needs to decline.
Would you lend me your aid?
It turned me down. Well, I will take that pouch back then. I appreciate you asking for me at any rate. Here, take a few of the coins that I would have given to Ethan. Still, I have to think about what to do now. My problem remains, if folk are afraid to work in the Hall of Crafts, my business will suffer. What's been happening to Hearn these days? Well, so much for that. Apparently this man needs a little help with something.
Well met.
Herna stands on a rocky plateau overlooking the Ruddermoor, and the road takes a wide loop around the town. Do you think that you can go to the crossroads to the west and to the north of Herna and look for any signs of danger? A foul mood has settled upon the town in recent days, and I grow increasingly worried that some evil might have set its sights upon this town where I was born. I don't remember it being like this in all my years, and my sister and I have been here all our lives. I will check that when I head out of town, all right? Thank you. And now, let's see, what else have we got? Hello there.
A shadow has fallen upon our lands.
Oh, well met. I am Arena, a basket weaver of Herna. If you're looking to make some coin, I am looking for some help. East of Herna are various bodies of water from which I often go to gather reeds with which to make baskets. Of late, the reeds have been decimated by sickle flies. Well, by their larvae, at least. If you reduce the number of sickle flies there, I will pay you. This season may be nearly over, but at least this way there will be fewer to breed for next season. Okay. I suppose I can do that. Sickles among the reeds. But my main task is to speak with Athril, right? Hello there?
Why have you come to bother me? I speak to no one. Not since...
Oh, he is shaken from that event. Well, I suppose we could leave him a nice mug of spiced beer.
I have not had any visitors in quite some time. What brings you to my home?
You want to hear about the crawling darkness? Abrathel shakes his chair and then makes a bracing gulp from the mug of beer. Maybe I had better know your names? Who are these companions that you bring with you? Oh, these two! Yes. Well, this here is... that's the wrong one. This is Boromir. Captain of Gondor. And this is Ifrith. Ifrith, or something like that. She's from Rohan.
Boromir, you say? And Egfrith?
Surely you're not the Boromir who is the son of the Steward of Gondor? Some 20 years ago I traveled to the Southlands, adventuring, you know, and I had the privilege of meeting the steward. I remember his sons, both of lordly mien. You do bear a resemblance to the older of the two, but you travel now in secret, it seems. I will say no more of it. A guard of the citadel, if not the captain, in my own home. Well, I can hardly believe it. An Ifrit, a proud woman of Rohan. In the days of my youth I rode across the Rittermark in joyful gallop. Is Theoden still the king of Rohan? It was a beautiful land, and he was stern and strong, loved by his people and respected by his foes. Ah, it must still be so, right? The set of Egfrid's jaw tightens, but she says nothing. Everthal continues. I'll tell you what happened to me. With such fine protectors in my home, what have I to fear? Well, I guess we'll find out in a moment. Some treated leather boots. Well, they are a major promotion. That's what they are.
4 nights passed after the setting of the sun. I left my home to walk along the cobbled streets of Herne.
This I have done for years, every night, ever since I gave up the adventuring life. You may think it odd, but I have found these moonless strolls to keep something of my old wanderlust at bay. Perhaps this is the day I keep walking, Berthal, old fellow. I've asked myself on occasion, but thus far I have always come back to my home, and sleep comes quickly. But on that night, while strolling along the lane west of my home, smelling the night flowers and listening to the sound of frogs down by the river bank, I could sense that something was different. I can't tell you exactly what it might have been, but I was seized by a tremendous feeling of, I don't know, wrongness. I felt it in the pit of my stomach. There was a grassy place to the left between the 2 buildings along the lane, and a single tree grows there. My eye was drawn to that tree, and I watched, I swear, that there was a deeper shadow moved out from behind the trunk. It made a strange sound as it moved, a whispering just beyond the edge of my hearing. It reminded me of being lost in the distant woods, stalked by a dangerous creature that I could not yet see. But this was no mountain lion. I drew in all my reserves of courage, I tell you, and I turned to run, but even as my muscles tensed, I knew that it was too late. While I stood transfixed by the creeping shadow in front of me, a second dark figure had come up behind. This one was towering above me, for it sat astride a great black steed. But I could not tell you how I had not heard the sounds of its hoofs on the cobbles as it approached. I must have fainted then, for the next thing I remember is being shaken awake by Blendry, one of the townspeople, carrying a lantern. He said that he found me lying in the base of the tree between the 2 buildings on my way home, and with no sign of other darker figures anywhere about. But every night since, a terrible sensation of dread has fallen upon Herne as the sun disappears beneath the horizon. Do you know what they were, friend? Has anything of this sort been seen in Gondor or in Rohan? What business could draw such terrible creatures to Herne? That I don't know. Well, sounds like to me I need to talk to Mineldir. But I also notice that that is a level 22 quest, so I think I need to do some other stuff first. I think that it's time to find some goats. Let's see, we have family stew. We can head out this way. That is not a goat. If it is, it's certainly the biggest goat I've ever seen. I think up around this direction is where she go. Oh yes, there we are. A goat. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a level 23 goat. I have to tell you that. Ouch! Whew. Actually, if I'm going to be fighting nasty goats, then they may turn out to be spawning nasty raids. So let's have a little munch before I go around any more of these. Who knows what will happen if I run to any more raids. Well, yeah. Perhaps this wasn't the ideal quest for me. Is this actually supposed to be a level 20? It's a white quest, so why am I supposed to be fighting level 23 mobs? I don't know. It's a level 20 quest. Oh, well. Well, this is a saner level than the other ones I've fought so far. I just have to be careful, just in case. Wolves. Well, yeah, the wolves then will go attack the goats that I'm supposed to be going after. Let's see, how am I going with my goat? These are the right goats, right? Yeah, I'm collecting the right goat meat. That's good to know. Wait, this thing is tough. New deed! Enmity of the wolves. Oh, joy. What do I get for killing wolves? Oh, I learn how to fish. Or at least I should say, learn how to fish better. Ah! And a thief. Well, I don't have a quest to kill these. There you go. Okay, well, let's see if I... Ah! More goats. Hi. Oh, well, I was about to say, why are you bashing me with your horns? But then I suppose I did throw a spear at it. I think that's enough goat meat. So let's see if I can find those crossroads and scout them. And that should be some good service over here. Actually, I think the first of the intersections is just up ahead. Yeah. This looks like exactly where I need to check. So is there any trouble around here? Are we looking for trouble? No, but there's a brigand there that's looking for trouble. All's quiet in the meeting of ways, except for that brigand, and I will see to it that he causes us no trouble. Ha ha! You didn't meet me. There you go. Alright, now for the other intersection, which I believe is down this way. It looks like we also have an orc down this roadway. Well, we need to deal with the orcs also. Send them back to TitanBar. Actually, back. New deed. Enmity of the orcs and goblins. Seen the world. Well, at least seen lots of orcs and goblins by the time I finish that. Actually, I think I've seen lots of orcs and goblins already. Now, see. Ah, I think that's the other roadway right over there. But apparently, this Hendraval has decided that it doesn't like me. And it will soon know, well, actually, it's already known that it wasn't a good idea. This is one of the crossroads. No obvious threats make themselves known at this crossroads. Right? No obvious threats around here. Well, okay. Well, then we'll go after the non-obvious threat, this brigand. I am sure... I guess he was expecting me to find some nastier threats. Such as whatever is causing the darkness or whatever is that. Now, I think there's a dwarf that wanted to speak with me out here. I think the dwarf is going to be out here somewhere. Ah, there he is. We also have a wolf out here. A wolf who's meeting a hobbit that wishes to learn how to fish by killing wolves. Don't ask.
I am at your service.
Aye, these rocks do indeed have a red sheen about them, but the real value lies within, I warrant. Will you help me to gather up chunks of red rock for a closer study? Okay, 10 chunks of red rock. 10 chunks of red rock would be this away, I'll assume. He's not going to ask me to mine them out with a pick or anything like that. Ah, here we are. Okay, good. Up here. 2 rocks. Yeah, this shouldn't be too difficult. I think that this should be enough for him to examine and determine how useful these rocks are. Assuming he's looking for some sort of ore. Ah, there you are. Here are your rocks.
At your service and your family's.
Ah, yes, these rocks are notable. Now, these were all pretty near the surface, and the workings of wind and rain caused them to slough off the larger crags. There could be valuable ore buried a little bit deeper. I may have to stay here in Redamore a little bit longer after all. My journey will have to wait, even though the town of Herna seems glum and gloomy. Why are the most valuable materials never found in places of cheer? You have helped me, my dear friend, and take this reward and my thanks. Opals. Whee! Completed 9 for such things. Completed a level 20. Completed the Undying. How did I do that? Alright, so, and of course, war effort needs you. Actually, do I actually... Wait, I actually have the mission recruiters for the Gundabad and Elder Slade in there, and of course there's a whole thing about the war effort and all. Well, at the very least, I have no idea about those other missions, but I'm pretty sure that the Cardland missions will be open to us even on this server, since, oh, I'm adventuring there now, so it's very definitely part of the content. I will need to be careful, because those raids that will occasionally spawn, they're now going to have corruptions on them, so I have to remember to remove the corruptions. And I believe they conveniently set it so that corruption removal skills are now gained at level 20, so I should be able to get rid of them. I also have a shield slam so I could bash mobs in the face to interrupt them. And it looks like I could shake out of dazes and roots and the like. So that'll help. But of course, mobs I'm sure are going to get a little tougher now. But at least I can still deliver some ingredients.
You have done it!
You've done it! Now to fill this cottage with thy favorite smells. Will you join us for dinner? It's the least I can repay you with, alright?
Could I impose upon you for another favor while I am seeing to the cooking?
I'm going to get started on dinner, but I wonder if you could impose me for another favor. My father's bedroom is on the 2nd floor, but in his condition there is no way that he can manage the stairs. Will you disassemble his bed and reassemble it in the library? He will complain, if I am sure, but I can tell by the bedroll that he has already been spending his nights down here. Oh, thankfully. By the bedroll. Oh, that bedroll, I guess. Yeah, alright. Well, I suppose I could do this. Disassemble a bed. Really? Oh well. Time to get going. I do wonder how many trips it would require me in order to bring down all these pieces. But, well, hopefully I brought all the pieces down properly so that it could be reassembled. One never knows. There we go. I hope he doesn't mind the head ward being in that direction. I hope he doesn't need whatever's in that cabinet. Ah, oh, there she is.
Thank you so much.
I know that he's had a hard time admitting when he needs help, but I thank you that in the end he will be grateful. All right.
While you were taking apart the bed, Father had a guest arrive.
The new guest is Ocean Beto, and I am certain that he is the reason Father was down at Tharbad, snooping around. I suspect he is also the reason Father got injured years ago. Ocean has always wanted to be the mayor, and though he whispers honey words into my father's ears, his actions have led me to believe that he is more of a wasp than a bee. Will I have some work yet to do on the stew? Will you bring this wine to the table? Oh, and perhaps you could speak with him? I want to know what's going on, but Ocean and I are not on speaking terms, and Father clamps his mouth shut as soon as I enter the room. All right, well, I'll see what I can do. There we go. Let's deliver the wine. Hello?
Why are you still here?
Oh,
Well, the wine is welcome, even if you are not.
oh, wonderful. No offense is meant, but my daughter does not need someone like you around giving her crazed ideas. She already ran off to big city and abandoned her duties to me. She is back, but for how long? Her mother was the same way, never content to settle down, always running off to look at crumbled fortresses and searching for elves and the little folk south of the Swanfleet. Well, since I'm not one of the little elves from Swanfleet, I'm from elsewhere, but that's another matter. The mayor narrows his eyes at you, but accepts the wine.
I have no problem with Riangar, and I wish she would warm up to me.
I have made sure to care for her dear father in her absence, but Cadwallon misses her a great deal. It has been so difficult for him since the accident. Well, his troubles go back decades before that, to when his wife ran off. Oh, I should not speak of that, though. Well, yeah, I spoke with them.
Well, what did they say?
Oh, so he cared for my father in my absence, did he? I didn't realize that my father was needing tending until now. No, he's a grown man, and I was capable when I left. I will not let that guilt creep in and take away the joy that I had in traveling and studying in Bree. But what my father says is intriguing. Mother was going to look at ruins? His words are stirring a memory within me, Pineleaf. Will you do me a favor and look for my mother's journal? It should be on the shelf in my father's library. Okay, I guess I can do that. Well, at least it's not blocked by the bed. Here we go. A journal that's old and well read.
What memories this brings back.
Ah, you found it. After Mother disappeared, I would pore over her written words for hours, searching for some clue as to where she went. I never believed that she left us on purpose, as my father insists. No, I think that she met some darker fate. The stew needs to cook over a low fire for several hours, and I also wish to check on the townfolk to see how they are faring. Will you meet me at the Crossway House Many people are still holed up in the inn, taking comfort from one another. Well, what we find at the Crossway House, especially with Maneldir, we'll have to find that out in the next episode of The Vale of the Pine.